السيد الرئيس عبد الفتاح السيسي رئيس جمهورية مصر العربية والسيدة حرمه.
His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, the President of the Arab Republic of Egypt and the First Lady.
Civilizations meet under the auspices of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, President of Egypt.
Good evening, Your Excellency, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, ladies and gentlemen, youth of the world. I would like to welcome you to the closing of the World Youth Forum 2019. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Nardine Farag. I'll be introducing the recommendation sessions in the third edition for the World Youth Forum 2019. Welcome to all of you to Sinai, the land of peace that has been blessed by heaven, here where the dream began, the dream that still remains a dream of youth from different civilizations, where they meet. Those youth came with their dreams to create happiness. They created bridges from despair to the horizons of hope. Youth who realized that dreams are not realized except by persistence, patience, and determination. Youth who believed that God provides the reward for those who work seriously and patiently. The dream of some Egyptian youth in one of the national youth conferences to have a channel where youth of the world can exchange their experiences, and in his constant support to youth, His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi launched this dream in 2017 by holding the World Youth Forum in its first edition, which concluded by the recommendations of having the World Youth Forum as a platform for international youth. The success continued throughout its second edition in 2018 in order to emphasize its success by launching a number of important recommendations in different fields. And today we are witnessing the third edition of World Youth Forum for the year 2019, where the past days witnessed lots of dialogues, exchange of views, and serious attempts at reaching common grounds, resulting in many recommendations and initiatives. And now to the highlights of this forum through the presentation of some of the participants. Shea Marak from Canada, Ledji Magwa Sidwan, Felix from Cameroon.
Hello, Egypt! Let me hear you make some noise if you had an amazing time in this beautiful country. Oh, I think we can do better than that.
Can you make some noise? Better.
Now that's more like it. Good evening, World Youth Forum. My name is Shreya Nayak. I'm an entrepreneur from Toronto, Canada, and I'm so proud to have flown all the way from a very cold winter to be here with you today in sunny Sharm El Sheikh.
I am Sidwan Felix Ledji from Cameroon, a proud graduate of the first edition of the African Presidential Leadership Program. Thank you.
And we are honored to address this large audience of global influencers, change makers, innovators, and future world leaders. But before we begin, let us all join our hands to thank His Excellency, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. Thank you, Mr. President, for enabling this monumental global gathering for change and being a beacon for encouragement for so many members of our young generation.
It is not every day that you come across a leader that believes in the power of people, that believes in the power of youths.
The World Youth Forum is a testament to the very bright future of Egypt, the land of peace, creativity, and development.
This year's edition of the World Youth Forum attracted over 300,000 applicants, and here seated with us are 7,000 dynamic, brilliant leaders from across the globe.
Over 164 nationalities around the forum, around the world, are present here at this forum.
Diversity of experience, perspectives, and thoughts were reflected in our over 150 wonderful speakers.
So much has happened over the last few days, with over 20 incredible sessions that covered a range of topics spanning global security, migration, as well as digital transformation and cultural identity.
Equally, we had 12 interactive workshops on international peace, regional security, industrial revolution, and the role we young people have to play in driving global development agendas.
A powerful roundtable discussing the importance of international political and economic cooperation, as well as addressing topics concerning energy, food security, human rights, and democracy.
In this same light, we had 17 productive panel discussions on international cooperation and human-centered development.
And of course, we can't forget a number of culturally creative, high-charged events like the World Youth Forum Labs, Freedom, and exciting theatrical performances that inspired us all to work together to achieve the global sustainable goals. All of the interaction from our sessions helped us dive deep into pressing issues we see around the world today.
Like peace and security, we should not be a luxury, but a basic human right. We reflected on how to foster regional integration and cooperation through capacity building and youth empowerment.
Through the sessions on digital transformation, we know that innovation is really created by people like you and like me. Today, with a click of a button, we can communicate and share ideas globally. With human-centered design and robotics, we can discover medical breakthroughs. And with digital transformation and blockchain, we can raise the standard of living for millions of people around the world.
We cannot be indifferent to the importance of environmental protection. In our sessions on climate change, we discuss the consequences of climate change in our communities and on nature. We equally explored ways to mitigate the adverse impact of climate change through global cooperation, knowledge sharing, and technological innovations.
We worked together through sessions and simulations to foster Mediterranean cooperation and address common regional challenges such as energy. We also even discussed the intersection of ancient civilizations and common history. And together, we learned that global sustainable development also includes human development, improvement of education systems, and the empowerment of women. Not only did we learn valuable insights, but we also contributed ideas through workshops.
The fourth industrial revolution is bringing huge benefits for people and is also in new ways bringing challenges. Human beings and robots should not compete, but as a matter of fact, complete each other.
The challenges that reduce women's contributions and undermine their role and rights were amongst the issues discussed. To progress as a society, we must ensure that we are empowering our women and girls so that we may all pursue a better future together.
Today's evolving digital age and cinema presents a perfect platform for human expression and cultural exchange so that we may engage in dialogue that can bring positive change in the world.
Through the World Youth Forum Labs, we learned how to cultivate an innovative mindset and form partnerships that help us spread positive impact globally from 36 unique tech-based startups around the world.
During our session on food security, we discovered Africa's food production potential and the requirements for adequate supply of quality food that meets universal demand.
Freedom was an exceptional event where we all explored numerous sessions-related activities and enjoyed learning about the power of technology. Now tell me, Felix, have you ever been in a theater where 132 artists and actors from 23 countries are performing all together?
Of course, here at the World Youth Forum, we had stand-up comedy, inspirational talks, panel, and music sessions from across the world.
We want you to know that all of us here are enterprising change makers and world leaders. Making a big difference is never easy. It requires hard work, perseverance, passion to turn our dreams into reality. But look around you tonight at the thousands of bright faces, and you will see that you are not alone, because together we can achieve anything.
Now we've learned the challenges and opportunities to make our world a better place. It is in our hands to put our marks to ensure that today we thrive and protect the impact, the interests of future generations.
And if not now, then when?
And of course, if not us young people, then who else?
We gather for humanity.
We gather for change.
We gather to share our hopes, ideas, and dreams in Egypt, where civilizations meet and build a better tomorrow.
Thank you very
all.
much.
Your Excellency Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, distinguished guests, we are all very grateful and appreciative to the organizing committee of the World Youth Forum that was able to plan and implement the forum with a high degree of professionality and very meticulous organization and variety in content and discussions. And now we give the floor to Dr. Rasha Raghib, the Executive Director of the National Training Academy. In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful, in the name of mercy, in the name of humanity and love, in the name of peace from the land of peace, may the peace and blessings be upon you, to you, and for you. Your Excellency Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, President of the Arab Republic of Egypt, distinguished guests, youth of Egypt and the world, I would like to welcome you on the land of the beloved Sinai, in the conclusion of the third edition of the World Youth Forum. And I would like, with all pride, to talk about the efforts of thousands of youth who have worked day and night in order to render this event successful and take it at the best possible way to everyone. Distinguished guests, the experiences presented by the participants in the forum this year adds to its logo, in addition to peace, stability, and innovation, a new meaning, which is humanity. Humanity, the heart of human beings that beats with love, that is moved by the determination of the promising youth, the key of life and the password to attaining prosperity to all nations of the world. Here, the dream has started 2 years back, and the idea emanated. Here, people said that we can make the impossible possible with the hands of the youth. They are the part of the equation to show their love and determination to their countries. From the very first edition, the World Youth Forum showed that there are no boundaries based on race, color, and sex, and we are all one and humans, and that all civilizations with all their creative details can discuss and dialogue without conflict. They can talk with one another without fear. And now, and in its third edition, we announce with all pride that the World Youth Forum has become an international discussion platform, and a platform that is comprehensive, that includes various teams within Egypt and outside, and that is cherished by its ambassadors all over the world, where they met here and came to know that dreams know no impossible, and that everything that is wanted by human beings and sought has to be achieved. Distinguished guests, since we believe that everything that we dream of should be done in working, we provide you the recommendations of the Third World Youth Forum to launch an African initiative for digital transformation in cooperation with the African Union and the African Union Lab to sponsor creativity. Call for an African initiative to fight piracy in order to secure the sensitive information in order to provide diversity. Issue an Arab African platform for women that includes a digital library for all studies and research papers, as well as reports on women, and to show successful women experiences and finding ways of funding them. Calling for the establishment of a Euro-Mediterranean Committee to fight hatred and xenophobia in order to set proposals to fight xenophobia, extremism, on social media in par with international standards, and asking the UN to issue a protocol to fight xenophobia, extremism, and bullying over the internet and social media. The National Academy for Training in Egypt will set executive mechanisms to launch a presidential program to train Euro-Mediterranean youth on leadership. Calling for implementation of the African Union 2021 initiative to create 1 million jobs, in issuing an initiative for African universities to focus on various fourth-generation industrial technologies and finding ways in them to solve the problems of the continent. Issuing an initiative for the developers of blockchain in various fields to support sustainable development goals in cooperation with the World Youth Forum Labs that has been launched by the World Youth Forum to support entrepreneurship. Issuing an initiative called Art Under Humanity as a platform for embracing the arts of the youth, where artists can create their own identities for their own countries and introduce creations that relate to them. Establish a center for relations between countries and issuing calling all institutions to call on innovators from all over the world. And last but not least, we hope that the World Youth Forum be a message of peace and love to all humankind, and that our participants be ambassador of love all over the world. And a heartfelt gratitude to everyone who was able to attend and those who have tried but were not able. We wish you all the success. See you all next year in the World Youth Forum 2020, and may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you.
By the end of each edition of the forum and witnessing the success and the development taking place each year, we need to remember the beginnings. The beginnings, despite their difficulties, have a special flavor that does not get erased from memory. The flavor of achievement of dreams, that the youth of the world meet here in Sharm El Sheikh, gathering for one objective, which is achieving victory for humankind and humanity, achieving a better world for all people with different opportunities and dreams realized throughout 3 years. 10,000s of youth who came from all over the world proved to us that such a dream is not far away. All we need is true belief and persistence.
For the 3rd year in a row, youth from around the globe have gathered to attend the World's Youth Forum 2019, held as usual in Sharm El Sheikh, the international city of peace that have earned its title as the capital of the world's youth. Once again, the WYF has proven to be a great success, with more than 350,000 applicants and over 7,000 participants from more than 190 countries in this year's version. It's also evolved in terms of content and effectiveness, as it now has the tools and the know-how to actually implement its resolutions, turning them into reality, putting youth from all over the world one step closer to their dreams. This success did not come by chance. It's the result of the collective thoughts and thorough planning of Egyptian youth, who were originally working on organizing and managing the national youth conferences that have been regularly held in Egypt since 2016 up till now. These young Egyptians wanted to expand their experiences and share it with youth from around the world, and His Excellency Abdel Fattah al-Sisi endorsed the idea. Hence, the first World Youth Forum was held in Sharm El Sheikh in November 2017. The first WYF turned out to be a great success, a world-class forum in terms of organization and magnitude, which paved the way for the organizing committee to suggest making it an annual event, the idea that was once again endorsed by the President, leading to the second WYF in 2018. That witnessed more participation, more content development, turning the WYF into an international organization that operates all year round, helping youth from Egypt and the entire globe overcome difficulties, facing their challenges, and fulfill their dreams. And here we are, once again in Sharm El Sheikh, Sinai in Egypt, where civilization meet. Once again, we've come together to work for peace and strive for development.
يشرفني أن أعلن من هنا من أرض سيناء المباركة انطلاق منتدى شباب العالم في نسخته الثالثة.
people are critical agents of change, driving transformation worldwide.
I would say respect people's cultures because they're people and they might sound different, but they're just the same like you.
برغم اختلافنا عن بعض كبشر إلا إنه ربنا حقيقي جمعنا على حاجة جوه كل واحد فينا، حاجة اسمها الإنسانية.
All of us have traveled for long distances of land and sea to bridge the distances between people and cultures. Through sessions, workshops, and free discussions.
أنا بطبيعتي ميال للشباب والشابات كثيرا جدا جدا. صحيح.
I want to send my sincere respect and love and appreciation for your support and leadership and bringing all the youth to the intersection of the world and the mother of the world.
How does the government participate to success of young Egyptian entrepreneurs?
أي تجربة موجودة عندنا هي متاحة للجميع، لأن احنا نتمنى أن نشوف الدنيا كلها متقدمة ومتطورة، وعمر ما حد بيتقدم على حساب حد. اللي بيتقدم على حساب نفسه.
I am looking forward to our panel discussion today and sharing my views on the relationship between robots and humans.
Would you trust a humanoid robot? Would you trust it to babysit your child at that point of time?
If they do get to a point where they can, take care of children and people, I would trust AIs. If it does a good job at protecting them, of course.
نحن سنفتتح جيل جديد من الجامعات خلال العام الدراسي القادم فيها كل العلوم التي تتحدثون عنها. كل العلوم.
بداية بدي أحمل تحيات فخامة رئيس الجمهورية العماد ميشيل عون إلى فخامة الرئيس عبد الفتاح السيسي، وأشكرك على دعوة لبنان عبر الرئاسة للمشاركة في هذا المؤتمر. ولكن الشكر الأكبر فخامة الرئيس هو لاهتمامك الحقيقي والصادق بمستقبل الشباب.
We are going to concentrate on youth because we want our youth to learn the history, the culture of each other. We want our youth to participate in what we are doing in our region.
All of us have traveled for long distances to bridge the distances between people and cultures through art in the theater. bridge the distances between people and cultures. Through creativity in the Free Dome, we made new friends, shared experiences,
كل مرة أنا اللي بتحدث بس وده مش كفاية. أنا كمان عايز أدي فرصة لشباب وشابات إن هم يتحدثوا ونسمعهم كلنا.
أنا مبسوطة طبعا إن أنا بشارك في الماراثون بتاع العجل، وطبعا فخامتك أنا مبسوطة جدا إن أنا واقفة جنبك.
أنا سيلفي من تايوان، شكرا على إعطائي الفرصة كي أتي إلى هنا من آسيا وأتعرف على الناس الجدد وأتعرف على منطقة الشرق الأوسط.
وأنا دلوقتي اللي قادر اللي أقوله من قدامكم دلوقتي إن أنا بحبك قوي.
شكرا سيادة الرئيس عبد الفتاح السيسي على المؤتمر الجميل ده. فعلا وريت العالم كله ان شرم الشيخ هي ارض السلام.
الرسالة اللي احنا عايزين نبعتها للعالم كله بوجودنا كده مع بعض ان العالم يسعنا كلنا. العالم او الارض اللي احنا موجودين عليها في كل حتة في الدنيا تسعنا كلنا. من فضلكم عندما تعودوا بإذن الله سالمين إلى بلادكم تكلموا مع أقاربكم، مع أصدقائكم، مع الشباب اللي في سنكم، ومع حتى الشباب والأجيال القادمة. تحدثوا معهم عن أهمية السلام والاستقرار من أجل الإنسانية. الشباب أمل، الشباب طموح، الشباب قدرة، وكمان الشباب بيستهدف عشان يستخدم كأداة لتدمير نفسه وتدمير بلده وتدمير البلاد اللي جنب منه. أنا بقصد بده بالذات الإرهاب والتطرف. ولا يمكن أبدا إجراءاتنا هتستكمل إلا بأن وعينا يزيد. وكمان مش بس إحنا وعينا يزيد، لا إحنا كمان نتكلم ونفضل نتكلم على أهمية الاعتدال والتوازن بين الناس وبعضها البعض.
We definitely got inspired.
Please welcome the inspiring Jessica Cox. الملهمة Jessica Cox.
Your Excellency, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, honorary guest, ladies and gentlemen, we have all had fantasies of breaking free of our limitations. In the beginning of my journey to becoming a pilot, I found myself tackling some of the most basic challenges that most student pilots don't even think about. And as I looked down on the floor in the airplane, I caught a glimpse of my shoes. And it reminded me of the first time that I tied my shoes on my own. I'd like to leave you, who in a very few short years will be ruling the world, with a bit of advice. Do whatever you need to do to be heard. Make a difference. Leave your footprint. And most importantly, never give up hope. Don't change yourself. Change the game.
زين ده أجمل بطل في العالم، أجمل من أي بطل عمركم شفتوه في الأفلام.
Please welcome fighter Zain Yusuf.
I am a cancer survivor, but not once, not twice, not 3 times, but alhamdulillah, thank God, a 4-time cancer survivor.
Come to think of it now, after spending this time here in Sharm El Sheikh, attending the World Youth Forum, we've helped, even a little, in making the world a better place. We may have not taken giant steps. The impact of our gathering may not be instant, but when we look back at where we started, we find that we have come a long way. One World Youth Forum at a time. And many more to come.
Your Excellency President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, President of Egypt, and the First Lady, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. We've gathered here throughout the past days in a journey where we sat together as you young people, leaders, and visionaries from different nationalities. We shared the values of love and peace, looking for the treasure of our humanity. The youth of the world have arrived here carrying good and love for a future that is more peaceful, that is more innovative, a future filled with opportunities where dreams are realized and turned into tangible reality. There is nothing better than the World Youth Forum to be a platform for ideas, views, and experiences to be shared. We've discussed different topics, and we realized that our differences are strengths, not weaknesses. Challenge and will have been the titles for different models that have touched us. May glory be for those who are persistent. Their successes were a challenge to challenges and an inspiration to all of those who want to prove themselves. We've gathered here in a time where the world realizes the need for gathering together, and races, colors, and cultures have been unified. And here on the blessed land of our precious Sinai, we've reached coexistence, tolerance, and peace among different peoples and communities, and all differences just dissolved. All our pride belongs to those young people who realize that reaching the dreams needs overcoming challenges. The biggest challenge was the fear of losing passion and the sense of objective. Now we'll listen to some experiences from these youth from different countries of the world where they tell us their success stories.
Your Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, dear honorable guests and attendees of the forum, especially dear youth. My name is Camila Batista Pinto, and I'm from Latin America. I'm from Brazil. And I am a social entrepreneur working with Islam's low-income communities. We live the century of paradoxes. All nations love peace, but there is still war. We are all human beings, but we are still creating and closing borders. It's this desire to break up with these paradoxes that brings us here today. I'm here with the great joy of representing the youth who attended this forum during this intense week. For some of us, it is many, many hours, even days to get here. For others, it is simply a few hours trip. Anyway, we all came. We came with a series of expectations, dreams, victories, and certainly some defeats. But we came, we accepted the journey of coming to the unusual. And even though Sharm El Sheikh is an incredible city, we didn't came for the view. We came because we want to connect with the new. We want to know what the other side of the world is proposing. We need to know that there is more youth committed for creating a better society. Choosing the path of social impact is not obvious. Working on issues such as inclusion, gender equality, climate change, and education is extremely challenging. To achieve the transformation the world needs, there is no ready answers. We are definitely choosing on widening paths, full of stones. And it's not easy to feel the courage to face the ocean without the map. But we, youth, we are the key players for these transformations. And we are trying to dig answers. Walking the path is the way we find it to create it. Witnessing every inch we walk, we put more distance in front of us so that we can keep walking. During the forums, a sentence I read some time ago took over my memory. You will know that you are taking meaningful actions when you start to feel uncomfortable, when you are nervous and little scared, when you are working with people who don't look like you and who are very different experiences from the road. And that's why we need to be thankful for spaces like the Road Youth Forum, spaces that give us the opportunity to meet regardless of who we are and the country we came from. Spaces that provide us the invitation to have a voice and ideas out of the box, as I happily heard from the past few weeks many times. The Road Youth Forum can be a powerful force that helps us to drive peace and security for the whole road, and we need to appropriate this tool. Are we using the sessions as best as we can? Have we had enough inspiring conversations? Have we closed partnerships to expand our impact? One of the topics really discussed this week was the global refugee crisis. 70 million people around the world have been forced to leave their home on account of terrorism and violence. Among them, 26 million are refugees. As tells the Mozambique writer Mia Couto, every person is an individual humanity. Every man is a race. However, with all the technological advances we have, not yet been able to move forward with our condition as human beings. I ask us to start having a dialogue with our own governments to accept and engage refugees in our community. It is urgent that our society exalt solidarity as a positive value. We need to advocate for the acceptance of people who are forced to leave for their countries. We, as change makers, entrepreneurs, and activists, we need to create the opportunities for income generation, job replacement, and social integration for refugees. How can we think about ideas that enable citizens to exercise their basic rights, such as education, employment, healthcare, and freedom of movement? We need to involve the private sector on this discussion. Many institutions are already convinced on the power of diversity to generate innovation and richness. However, we still need to go on further ideas about how to guarantee not only diversity, but also real inclusion. As youth, we need to row against this current. Aim at the road of so many inconsistencies. The opportunity that our generation has to make changes are innumerable. The potential to contribute to peace building is immeasurable. Aimed with this feeling, we youth, we declare, we are not stepping back. We have a role in the future, mainly in spreading humanity values. Let's find the courage to make the changes the world needs our own life stories. Let's use the World Youth Forum each year as a platform for connection and action for this transformation. Let's take the ownership of the spaces offered to us to create further social transformation. Thank you. Shukran.
سيادة الرئيس عبد الفتاح السيسي.
Your Excellency Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, my dear brothers and sisters from the youth, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you. I am Ayat. I stand before you after facing a number of challenges, after a lot of despair and failure to inflict change. But my dream started, and it was my incentive till the end. My father, who was born and raised in a camp for refugees in Jordan, was not able to continue his higher education. He looked at me as though he was looking to the future through me. I am his dream that he wished to attain. He put inside me the love for education and being unique, to be an ambassador for youth in the United Nations, and to be classified as one of the best 30 influential women in science and engineering from international organizations. The road was no easy one. We need a lot of resources to succeed. But if you have a dream, then you are the only one who will make that dream possible. No one supports dreams of people other than the people themselves. But we as youth want to be supported so that we can prove that we are makers of change and that we have power to enable us to solve problems while showing how our innovations and creativity can hasten the achievement of sustainable development goals and the 2030 agenda through our unique approaches and distinguished solutions to solve the issues of the region, first and foremost of which is education, a file that has been talked about largely and opinions about has differed. The differences in opinion was not about the importance of this file, for it is one of the most important reasons for the development of nations, especially in light of the economic and technological developments that are greatly taking place currently. To our luck, habit, and talent is our best tool. In light of research and technology, they are the resources for success of any country without exception. Development is in our hands if we invest today in youth and education. Nothing stands before the future that we want except ourselves. And we have to indicate or refer to the importance of digital transformation and communication specifically, since they enhance research and development in order to better governmental and private institutions. We have to look out of the box that has made our education stagnant. Eras change, aspirations increase. We have to use the best means of education in order to attain the development objectives. We have to win the brains of development and be the first to support us. Let us learn from the successes and resort to international expertise so that we can build educational forts capable of generating generations that know their potential, Arab in nature and identity. A new era of history is on its way to be achieved and will bring to us problems that have been unprecedented to prove the ability of human dreams to achieve the dreams of everyone and get over and overcome challenges. We need to have more wider spaces that will allow us to attain sustainable development. And since the development does not happen without women, women are wives, mothers, and sisters, and no one can refute the importance of women in the society. Women know their rights and are keen on practicing these rights, and they influence the movement of life in their societies and all over the world. And there are a number of examples of women who have entered the political arena, who have experience in economy and science, who have innovation and opinions. Expectations did not stop them that were against women and did not stop them from attaining what they could achieve. We have to choose what gives each female more space so that she can soar and fly, and to show us the beauty of her colors and uniqueness. Women play a very important role in their communities. They are half the community, and they raise the other half. I am very proud of being here today in the biggest gathering of youth in the world, and I am very happy to see that enabling youth has become a reality. And here I would like to ask from His Excellency the President to add to the recommendations of the year the launch of the first Women Forum to empower and support women. A communal demand, Your Excellency, so that they can be more qualified to access the labor market and more capable of effecting change all over the world. This is my dream. I hope that it will be launched from this platform. I hope that it will be a beginning to a new hope of supporting women, starting from here, the heart of the world, the mother of the world, Egypt. And in conclusion, my message is to the youth of the world. Success starts with one single step. If you take the decision to try, if you stop fearing failure, if you are first to believe in yourself and your capacities, if you give yourself a true chance once, twice, and 1,000 times, if the entire world starts to stop you and you say, no, I can, change will start today. Perhaps change is a difficult word, but if we do want to change, then we have to start today. Today might be just an ordinary day for a lot of people, but for us, the youth, and after this World Youth Forum, the Great Forum, change and the future starts today. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, Excellencies, participants,
dear guests, it's a great honor for me to be here today in Egypt. I've heard about Egypt and that she's the mother of the world, and yes, Egypt is indeed the mother of the world. I'm sorry, I don't speak the beautiful Arabic language, but one day I will be able to do so. I will continue speaking in English. But before that, I would like to thank the Egyptian government and the World Youth Forum.
It is a great honor to stand before such a remarkable group of inspiring leaders and to represent Europe in this inspiring event. I am Carlos Santis, I come from Spain, and I am the founder of the World Impact Alliance. Today is a dream come true. Speaking before thousands of people coming from more than 150 different countries that gather together to work to make the world a better place gives me the hope and the certainty that the world will be better in the future for all. I am extremely honored to participate in this event, and I want to say that I believe I speak on behalf of everybody here when I thank the government of Egypt and the World Youth Forum for the wonderful hospitality and for the opportunity that they have brought to us. I cannot think of a better place to gather and to bring together cultures, races, and nationalities than Egypt, mother of the world and cradle of civilizations. Dear friends, after these days with you, I feel a deep sense of pride and hope for today's youth. And I have to say that you are inspiring, beautiful, powerful human beings that have given me so much faith in humanity. These days, I had the immense privilege to participate in one of the sessions chaired by the President of Egypt. And I want to take this opportunity to thank His Excellency for his vision, not only for the world's youth, but also for Egypt and for fostering a message of peace and collaboration between all countries and cultures. But let us not forget why we are here. Today, there's millions of people that live in horrible human conditions due to poverty, war, human rights violations, and violence. And we need to do all we can to help those in need. It is true that we have incredible challenges, but it is also true that there are solutions, that we have tools that can allow us to improve the situation. The United Nations Development Goals gives us the right framework and the best compass to direct our efforts to make the world better, focusing on the 17 biggest priorities that can allow us to improve the future for humanity. And it is not the task of the governments and the countries, it is not the task of the companies, it is our role to see what we can do to improve the situation one task at a time. And believe me, there's so many things that we can do to improve the situation. We can plant up to 100,000 trees with one drone in one day. We can use AI to cure cancer. We can use e-commerce and tourism to reduce poverty. We can use recycled materials from the ocean to create a fashion brand, or 3D print organs to save lives. There are so many things we can do that we decided to create a list of 500 solutions for a better world. Solutions to tackle problems in poverty, healthcare, environment, education, and human rights, and best practices of governments and companies to get us a clear sense of what we can do to achieve our SDGs. Because there's millions of people that, just like you, want to improve the state of the world, but don't know what to do or how to do it. And now I would like to ask you what I believe is the most important question of your life. What is the purpose of your existence? What do you want to leave as your legacy? Why should you be in this planet, and why are you providing value to it? It is absolutely vital that we think of what is the biggest contribution we can provide, and how can we live a prosperous and happy life that is good for everybody. I know the answer for that question for me, and I know that I want to spend the rest of my life, no matter if I live just one more day or 50 more years, to find and apply solutions to make the world a better place. It is my goal to lift people from poverty, to cure cancer, and to clean the oceans and the lands. It is my goal to improve the situation of millions of people, and I know that I cannot do anything alone without your help. And that's why we're bringing together companies and institutions and remarkable individuals just like you that want to participate to work on solutions and make things better every single day. Today, I stand before you with the clear goal of trying to start from scratch. Let us use the World Youth Forum as a new beginning for all of us. Let us make a commitment of working to generate that impact. Because you know that it is what is right, because you know that you have the responsibility of doing all you can to make things better, because you know that you can do more, and because without your help, it is impossible to achieve the SDGs. And let me remind you that you are important, so please live a life worth dying for. My father was, thank you. My father was and will always be my mentor, my partner, and my best friend. Before he left us way too early, 2 years ago, due to pancreatic cancer, he taught me many valuable lessons. He taught me that I had to live a meaningful life. He taught me that no matter what we experience, it is not what we can do in life to respond to our challenges. It is how we decide to live. What kind of human being do we want to be? We need to be kind and generous. We need to be patient and empathetic. We need to be respectful. And we need to acknowledge that we are no more than the others, nor we are less than anybody else. Regardless of your culture or your religion, you know very clearly what it means to be a good human being. You know very well what it is to be a better son or daughter, a better father or mother, a better wife or husband, a better citizen or a better leader. So please be it. Be the best person you can be, and you will live forever. Thank you very much. Shukran jazilan.
In the name of Allah, most merciful and most gracious.
Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, Honorable First Lady of Egypt, distinguished guests. My name is Aidel Al-Adawi, and it's a true honor to represent Egypt's youth on this global stage at the closing ceremony of World Youth Forum 2019. Many important issues were discussed in the past few days, where youth from around the world engaged directly with global leaders. One of the main sessions this year was the panel on current challenges to international peace and security. There's no doubt that there are many challenges, especially the fight against terrorism. In the last few years, we've seen the global infrastructure of terrorism grow, with networks expanding around the globe. Unfortunately, terrorism has been used by some states as a political tool to advance their narrow self-interests, while causing suffering, destruction, and instability. Some states have provided all kinds of support to these terrorist networks, including financial support, logistical support, and this has been very devastating. Our region has suffered tremendously. However, terrorism is a global threat. It impacts everyone, not only our region. From Africa to Europe, from Asia to North America, the threat of terrorism is definitely global. Egypt has been at the forefront in fighting terrorism. And here, I recall President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi's words a few years ago when he warned the international community that if they do not act seriously and take a comprehensive approach towards terrorism, it will have an effect on them. The president's warnings were correct. And unfortunately, we witnessed terrorist attacks in European capitals, in the United States. If we are serious about defeating terrorism, we have to adopt a comprehensive counter-terrorism strategy that fights ideologically, economically, socially, educationally, and of course also militarily. But we cannot focus only on the security aspect of fighting terrorism. Terrorism will never be defeated with weapons. It will be defeated with ideas, changing the social and economic environments that unfortunately lure some individuals to joining the evil forces of mankind. In this regard, I would like to emphasize that we cannot only be distracted by fighting terrorism and not developing. We have to invest in building, growing, developing, innovating. Societies, especially young people, are hungry for a better life. Therefore, we cannot just fight terrorism and not develop our own country. I think in this regard, as a young Egyptian, Egypt stands as an ideal model, roadmap, as to how to fight terrorism while taking enormous steps into developing our own country. One of the key reasons I regard the June 30th revolution as a model is not only that we're fighting terrorism while we're developing our country, we're also investing in its youth. If we really want to defeat terrorism and establishing a more secure and stable world, we have to include the youth in the conversation. We have to include the youth in the solutions. We have to include the youth in the decision-making process. The youth from around the world will be at the forefront in tackling the most pressing issues that our planet is facing. Therefore, the World Youth Forum needs to continue to serve as a global platform where youth come together, share ideas, innovate, and think about how to solve our biggest challenges. So let me propose the establishment of a youth council that will make sure that the recommendations we propose here at the World Youth Forum are actually implemented. I would like to end with a message of thanks to His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi for his continuous support to Egyptian youth, to the youth of the world. And I would also like to note that we really appreciate that Your Excellency are giving us young people around the world the opportunity to share our ideas, and for you and all the other global leaders here to listen to our recommendations. Your Excellency, I think your legacy will include many things, but I think you will be remembered as the head of state who gave the world, the youth of the world, a global voice. And for that, we thank you. شكرا. تحيا مصر.
Art will remain the best form of communication between peoples. It's the best means to express emotions and ideas. It crosses all boundaries of language and differences of culture. Art is freedom, art is creativity and innovation. Whenever there is innovation, we know that the key word is youth.
أكيد شكل الحياة والزمان دايما ببص البعيد عمري ما بيأس عشان Within me there is a power to reach my dreams and change my fate سقف طموحي السحاب ما هي كلمة السر الشباب شمس يوم جديد هنقرب الحلم يحزن قلبي جامد وانا مهما الريح بتكوى جوايا بارد. ما هي كلمة السر الشباب. في الدنيا دي في مستحيل. مين قال الخطوة تبدأ من شمس يوم جديد هنقرب الحلم بعيد. A dream may seem to be out of reach today, but with one step you're on your way. ما هي كلمة السر الشباب.
From the bottom of our hearts we welcome you all to our land. نورتوا الدنيا دي بحالها، أهلا بيكم على أرضنا.
أيام عشناها على أرض السلام،
واللي ما بينا من زمان حلم بيجمعنا كلنا.
In the life of each of us, there is a challenge, circumstances that are sometimes difficult, which might make us feel frustrated and desperate. But some of us, through determination and will, have turned such challenges into power, into strength, and turned their problems to success, and they turn themselves into inspiration. And since success is a decision that they have sought, they have benefited themselves and their communities may reach achievements, and each achievement deserves an award.
Always followed my passion to give back to society, to bring a change, and I've been still following my passion, and every other thing which has been part of my life during my journey, I think is a byproduct. I started Lakshya when I was 18, and at that time I had no idea what an NGO is, how do we work, and my idea was very clear that I just want to work with these street children. So my first attempt was a failure, and I think that was indirect success, because that taught me a lot of ways how to work in this sector. After 3 years when Lakshya was there, we were actually working on the grounds. We started working with the rag picker community, where children would go and pick up the rags, and then they would sell those rags to make their living. Over a decade, we have changed more than 50,000 lives directly and indirectly through Lakshya programs of Butterfly and Drew, which is about child development and women empowerment. Achievement, I would say, when we are actually able to take off all these street children off the roads and put them to school, would be something that I would say would be my achievement.
Since I was young, my aunt suffered multiple times from cancer, and this has definitely marked my life. I felt patient when I was 9, 10 years old by cancer, and I definitely know by then that I wanted to devote my whole life to trying to help people. So when I was 15, I started being interested by cancer. 2 years later, I founded a company which is called BioPAI, in which we are making usage of artificial intelligence in order to diagnose cancer at early stages. So when I was 16, I won a European competition hosted by Huawei. So it was really challenging and difficult to take up a startup from that point and to find the proper team in order to get to the next level. All my life, I think that fulfilling someone's passion is really important. We are right now running clinical trials, so we hope to finish, get results, and definitely I hope that this product gets to people and it helps in decreasing the rate of deaths caused by this deadly disease, which is cancer. I'm not hoping that this is gonna be possible, but I'm sure I will be able to do that.
In terms of my autism, yeah, I have a lot of challenges with it. So right now I'm going to a special needs school. It's quite supportive because, you know, they help all the kids with certain things that other schools won't help you with. Obviously my mum can't do much because she's ill, but she still supports me emotionally, and my dad emotionally supports me as well. You know, he always gives me hugs. Every now and then I go to art exhibitions to sell my paintings and sculptures and much more. In terms of charity fundraising, I'm actually fundraising to build a school in Nigeria. So the charity is called BMAN, and it stands for Boys Mental and Advocacy Network. I went there to speak and influence people, adults and kids, to follow their dreams. There's also going to be a special needs section for the school and a mainstream section. Overall, the school can hold like 800 children. So yeah, it would be a great help for the kids and the adults looking for a job. The reason I got involved is show people that I'm useful, and I can show people that I'm not just a kid. I'm also, you can look at it as I'm a superhero.
احنا النهارده هنا في الرئيس علشان ده اليوم الثاني من الافريكان اب لانش باد كومبيتيشن لنشطة الرئاسيه اللي كان اطلقها السيد الرئيس عبد الفتاح السيسي في نوفمبر 2018 في منتدى شباب العالم.
فكره اجوره طلعت من مجموعه اشخاص كانوا بيشتغلوا مدرسين في مدرسه، واكتشفوا ان على قد ما التكنولوجيا بتتطور احنا مش بنستعمل التكنولوجي دي علشان نخلق طريقه مختلفه للاطفال دي تتعلم. احنا عملنا الاب دي علشان تتشارك المعرفه، مش لازم اروح اقعد في مدرسه على كرسي علشان اتلقى علم. احنا عايزين نحول كل مساحه لمكان انا ممكن اتعلم واكتشف منه.
About 4 years ago I had an accident. I was unconscious for 3 days. I didn't get any medical attention. That's when I realized how big the problem of health is in Nigeria. Then I wanted to build an app that could solve that problem and then help Nigerians save more lives. So what I did was to build 247 Medic, which is an app that connects patients to doctors, maximum waiting time of 10 minutes. And then we were delivering affordable healthcare solutions through mobile platforms.
أنا كنت كتبت أول كتاب كان في سن 15 سنة، كان اسمه هذا أبي. كانت القصة رغبة مني تدور يعني أحداثها في الماضي في الجزائر، لكن القصة تركز على الأطفال اللي تلهم الأطفال. في 2019 قررنا أن نقوم برحلة للجنوب، فقمت بأخذ كل الأطفال في الحافلة وقمنا بمخيم المطالعة. فكنا نقرأهم لغة إنجليزية، بدنا نقرأهم لغة عربية. كانت بالنسبة لي هذا الدافع يخليني نقيم مخيمات أخرى أو نخمم في مخيمات أخرى، وهذه مهمة وليست هواية ترحال، بل هي مهمة تدريس أو تعليم كل طفل نتلقوا به وهو عمر ما تلقى تعليم.
Water became very personal, and bringing better and cleaner water to people is also my personal goal. Water Room is a social enterprise that develops portable water filtration solutions that cater for disaster relief as well as the rural areas. We develop solutions that are safe, simple and swift, so they can be deployed in these developing regions and disaster-affected zones to bring about safe access to drinking water in these areas. I'm thankful for my teammates who have been very supportive in this journey, especially when we are tackling the world with 2 billion people without access to clean drinking water. I think standing up to these global challenges can be very scary, can be ominous, to be able to bring clean water to these affected communities. We have been able to reach out to about 33 countries worldwide, and we have reached out to about 80,000 people throughout the last 5 years. Our mission in improving the life, I think that is something that really brought us a long way in this journey.
بلشنا كمنصة تمويل جماعي بشكل أساسي، وشوي شوي اكتشفنا إنه عندنا هدف ثاني في الحياة، هو إنه إحنا كيف ممكن نعزز مفهوم الريادية المجتمعية بفلسطين.
بيلد بالستاين هي منصة بتهدف لأنها تجمع بين أي حدا بيسأل حاله كيف أنا ممكن أقدر أساعد فلسطين أو أدعم فلسطين.
يدخل على منصة واحدة عليها كل المشاريع الريادية المجتمعية اللي لها أثر اجتماعي بفلسطين وموثوقة ليقدروا يساعدوها، سواء بتبرعات مالية أو حتى بأنهم بس يتواصلوا معاهم ليزودوهم بخبراتهم أو مساعدتهم.
بنشتغل في بيلد بالستاين من ناحيتين، ناحية لوكال اللي هي في فلسطين وناحية جلوبال.
وهي الفكرة إنه أنا كيف ممكن أجمع تمويل من عدد أكبر من الناس بكميات مالية أصغر. فهون إجت فكرة إنه كيف ممكن الناس اللي بفلسطين عندهم حلول لمشاكل مجتمعية محتاجين تمويل، كيف ممكن نشبكهم مع أشخاص برا حابين يساعدوا بكميات مالية أصغر يساعدوا هدول الناس.
طموحنا الأساسي إنه نشبك أكبر عدد نقدر من السبورترز للعالم بالمشاريع اللي بنشتغل معها، الإمباكت بروجكتس اللي هون اللي عم بيشتغلوا على أرض الواقع لتحسين حياتنا هون في فلسطين.
هي الفكرة كانت بدأت إن إحنا اكتشفنا إن في ستات كتير جدا في مصر بالنسبة لهم برودكت مش عارفينه أو هو غالي عليهم، فكانوا بيستخدموا بدائل تانية ليه مش أحسن حاجة.
هو عبارة عن مشروع empowerment للستات، الستات بتشتغل وبتعمل لنفسها هم كمان البرودكت.
هي مصنوعة من مواد كلها أورجانيك.
عندنا فئتين بتستفيد من البروجكت ده. أول حاجة هي الستات المستهلكة للمنتج بتاعنا اللي بيتوزع في القرى كلها، وتاني حاجة هي الستات اللي بتصنع في مراكز الإنتاج بتاعتنا في حوالين مصر. احنا عندنا 6 مراكز إنتاج في 6 محافظات مختلفة.
ابتدينا نعلمهم بعد كده سيلز ازاي يوزعوها على المناطق اللي حواليهم والاكشاك والحاجات اللي ممكن تتباع فيها الحاجات دي. طبعا كل الناس دي حياتها اتغيرت 180 درجة، الناس دي بقى بيدخل لها مصدر دخل، بقت بتروح مدارس، فالناس بقت بتتعلم اكتر، بتعرف تفيد المجتمع اكتر، فاقتصاديا الموضوع كان مفيد جدا للدولة يعني، خصوصا ان احنا طلعنا بره مصر كمان، رحنا في السودان واوغندا.
احنا طالعين نمثل مصر بره.
كان في يعني منافسة كبيرة جدا لان الدول كانت صعبة، يعني كنا بننافس في الاخر كمان امريكا وكندا والمانيا،
بس كلنا كنا في اللحظة دي متأكدين ان احنا فخورين بان احنا مخليين اسم مصر هي الاول على العالم.
2019 champion, the team from Egypt.
منتدى شباب العالم بيجدد رهانه كل سنة على الشباب إنهم هم اللي هيصنعوا الفرق من أجل عالم أفضل، وفي كل سنة شباب العالم بيثبتوا إن الرهان عليهم رهان كسبان.
I cannot believe إن في أي حد عمل أي حاجة في الدنيا غيرت العالم جت من غير doubt.
I usually try to wake up thinking that I will change the world. This is not an impossible pathway. We need to make small steps in order to progress and to change the world.
Co-create and coexist in harmony.
Just think big. Collaborate.
Don't be afraid. Step out of the darkness and take action now.
Never give up on your dreams. Whatever you're aiming for, don't give up on it. Just go for it. Live life at the fullest.
And now, His Excellency President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, President of Egypt, will award some of the excelling models in different fields.
أسست منظمة
Achi Arand, she founded an NGO working for street children to protect them from threats and any illicit practices and in order to provide them with a chance for a better life. Rachi Anand. Eric Matamoros, at the age of 15, he started a project that brings oncology and AI together. 3 years later, he participated in launching an application to help children in early diagnosis of skin cancer through the mobile phone. Joshua Beckford, the youngest person to join Oxford University at 7 years old, despite being autistic. The excelling researcher has been classified as one of the best 30 autistic person worldwide who have impacted their societies. Stephen and Anthony Oswell won the second place in the pillar of developing mobile applications as part of the African Initiative for Sports Applications as part of the recommendations of World Youth Forum 2018. Ahmed Hisham Radwan won the first place in the competition for developing games as part of the African Initiative for changing gaming apps. Ali Abu Nasr won the second place in the pillar of developing digital games as part of the African Initiative. Dunya Zaid travels around the world, has been traveling around the world for 7 years to write children's short stories, especially for children who are victims of wars and conflict. Shanti, founder of Water Room for purification and filtration of potable water. The product provides clean potable water and has provided water for over 70,000 people in over 21 countries in the world. Lama Amr founded Build Palestine platform to fund cultural and innovative projects to encourage education of Palestinian youth. Enactus team, Cairo University. They have a project for educating women in some villages, and they started projects to provide them with income and have received the needed permits and licenses from the Ministry of Health. Noor Khidr, Egyptologist, working as a tour guide for 15 years and the protagonist of the Obelisk documentary that was screened in the opening of the World Youth Forum. His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has decided also to award some excelling models, and we start with Director Khaled Galal, the director of المحاكمة أهو سادة سلم نفسك, and he has been awarded the best plays, and he's also the supervisor of the Artistic Innovation Center where many young stars have been graduated from.
Jessica Cox.
Jessica Cox is a living model for will and determination. She was born armless. However, she refused that any disability would hold her back from realizing her dreams, and she has become the first armless pilot of the whole world. Jessica Cox. child whom we've learned from patience, will, and determination. He managed to be victorious over disease. Zain Youssef.
وستتفضل على المسرح والدة
And now, Zayn's mother of the hero.
كل التحية والتقدير.
Salutations, respect to the family of Zayn Youssef.
والآن نستمع إلى كلمة
And now we listen to the speech of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, President of Egypt. Can I read? In the name of Allah, most merciful, most gracious. Thank you. Thank you so much. I would like to welcome Zain before starting my speech because he is a great model and example of will, of patience. May God preserve you and grant you health. Your Excellencies, Your Highnesses, my sons and daughters from Youth of the World, ladies and gentlemen, allow me at the outset to pay my deepest thanks and appreciation to those who have helped bring together this successful event, starting with the Youth of the World who believed in the idea and answered the invitation of their Egyptian counterparts so that they would sit together, discuss topics, and exchange ideas regarding challenges facing our world filled with conflicts and wars, seeking realistic solutions to change such dark pathway towards a better future, a better world where there are the values of coexistence, peace, tolerance, and acceptance of the other. And they collaborated together to reach complementing each other. I would also like to thank my sons and daughters from Egypt who have always been the winning bet. My confidence in you is boundless, and you always impress me and dazzle me with your efforts in organization, with your ideas that provide the World Youth Forum with a very special flavor, different from the last year. So thank you, Youth of Egypt. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you once more to the land of peace, Sinai. Sinai, where God has manifested his glorious self to bless the land that witnessed victories and defeats, and has been the home for people who are pharaonic, Greco-Roman, Arab, Coptic, and Muslims all together. We gather here on a yearly basis on the land of Egypt, the meeting point of all civilizations, to send a message to the peoples of the world who love peace, to champion the humane values. There is no difference between races, colors, or religions. Here we are ambassadors of humanity. We condemn violence and terrorism. We want to avoid wars and conflict. Egypt has stood in the face of the darkness on behalf of the world. Its youth have showed extreme valor in defending humanity. Egypt's youth have been defending their honor, their country, to teach the whole humanity how to sacrifice all that is precious and valuable for all noble values. And from here, I have always believed in youth. They are the partners of the present, and they are the light of the future. They are the catalyst towards construction and development. Their ambition has no ceiling. There are no boundaries for their dreams, and maybe the experience of the World Youth Forum is the best proof to the fact that youth can indeed turn dreams into tangible reality that goes beyond all what is possible. I remember 2 years ago when the youth of Egypt invited the youth of the world to gather here on the land of Egypt. I remember their enthusiasm, their belief in the idea, their faith, their efforts to make the idea successful. They erased the words impossible, and their faith was rewarded. And the success of the first edition of the World Youth Forum was only the start of the journey. The second edition of the forum was the fruit of the idea to raise the ceiling of ambition, to enlarge the scope of the forum to include more youth, with more activities throughout the year. The success of the World Youth Forum was not limited to realizing the dream of having youth from all over the world in the same place for a constructive dialogue. But such dialogue and discussion has been turned from mere statements to realistic steps that have been implemented on the ground. So today we find the National Academy for Training Youth going beyond the borders of Egypt to hold international and regional partnerships in all different areas to strengthen the skills of youth in order for them to be able to better serve their communities. We witnessed the launch of the first Arab African platform in Aswan this year, which is another platform of the World Youth Forum in order to enhance the bonds between Arab and African youth. The world has realized the World Youth Forum's role through a resolution from the Human Rights Council on its 41st round, and has acknowledged the recommendations of the World Youth Forum in both its first and second editions, which were held in Sharm El Sheikh city in 2017 and 2018, for it to be an international platform to discuss ideas pertaining to youth from their perspective. And here we are in the third edition of the World Youth Forum, where we discuss the challenges faced by our world, regionally and internationally. We have discussed what the world has reached regarding developments in technology and science. We discussed food security, empowering youth and women. We've also discussed cinema and art as a common language, bringing peoples together. I have been very pleased by hearing the discussions of my sons and daughters from different parts of the world. I've learned from them. I've been impacted by them. I'm always impressed by such level of capability in expressing their views and ideas and their ability to achieve their dreams. Such fruitful discussions that have continued throughout the past days were the catalyst and the driver towards making many decisions to turn them into reality in order to achieve the ambitions and dreams of youth, and in a way that expresses the bias of the Egyptian state to youth. And based on that, I've decided on the following. First, the administration of the forum should take tangible steps to hold partnerships with international organizations of youth worldwide in a way that enriches constructive dialogue among world youth. Second, the National Academy for Training Youth should start having a regional hub for artificial intelligence that aims at developing the means of using AI in order to achieve the SDGs and to rebuild the capacities to overcome anticipated challenges in the labor market. Third, the administration of the forum shall launch a documentary contest at the level of the world youth, based on selecting a sustainable development goal and thinking of how it could be realized, bearing in mind the context of each state. Fourth, delegating the Ministry of Migration to coordinate with the relevant stakeholders and the administration of the World Youth Forum to launch an initiative under the title of Boats of Survival in order to spread awareness on migration on the coasts where migrants leave their countries. Fifth, launching 100 words around peace in order.
Sixth, World Youth Forum and its management coordinates with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the UFM in order to work on launching a Mediterranean Youth Platform in order to address the challenges they are facing in the Euro-Mediterranean countries and to support the ideas and thoughts of the youth in the region and searching establishment of a Euro-Mediterranean area for higher education and sciences in the new Alamein city. adopting the World Youth Forum, its 4th edition 2020, a strategy for dealing with the technological developments of the 4th Industrial Revolution in a manner that serves the aspirations of the youth of the world and attaining the benefit of all its fields. 8th, mandating the organizing committee of the World Youth Forum via the memorandum establishment to establish an international center aiming at integrating harmed youth in the reconstruction of countries post-conflict and to help countries in conflict, in addition to integrating the civil society in the construction of societies and communities. 9th, mandating the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Egypt in coordination with the various line ministries and authorities in the country and other national and African institutions to enhance common work in the field of food security and to set policies in order to attain food security in African countries, and to establish international partnerships to transfer modern technologies in the area of agricultural production to Africa and enhance the awareness of African communities with respect to the best utilization of the available food products and to reduce the waste thereof. 10th, mandating the administration of the World Youth Forum in coordination with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Irrigation to conduct a simulation with the common countries in one Nile basin, as well as to establish workshops about water security in light of the scarcity of water. And in conclusion, I would like to send a message to the leaders of the world in their entirety. Please listen to your youth, engage them share their dreams and aspirations and give them an opportunity to express themselves, soar in their skies, make them people who take the floor and take the first step, not followers. Believe in them. Do not leave them prey to those who feast on their aspirations and use them as tools to spread hatred and violence. Fill their hearts with will and aspiration and support that is endless. Open for them the gates of trust and give them the keys for leadership, for there is no present without them and no future with anyone else but them. I will wait for you next year, God willing. And with me will be the youth of Egypt so that we can meet once again in order to discuss and talk and listen to one another, continue what we have started together. This is my era of you and yours of mine. Thank you very much, and may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you all. I don't want to forget the recommendation that was proposed by the Jordanian teenager that asked out of us. I just want to tell you something. We are two equal halves now. So we don't want any discrimination or distinction. What I mean to say is that all the forums that we hold, we give in them the opportunity to the youth without discrimination based on male or female. So we don't want to overdo it. We don't want to make a forum just for females. So I hope she can accept this interpretation from me. I would like to thank you all. Thank you very much. Thank you all once again, and I am very happy to have you here with us, and hopefully you will have safe journeys back home, safe to your families, in all happiness. Thank you all very much.
السلام الوطني.
The national anthem for the Arab Republic of Egypt.
You're on your way. May you meet the sunshine.